Good evening, sports fans. Welcome back to another episode of Rookie Season. You know the drill by now, but if you're new, we'll have a little explainer what we're doing here. I'm Andy Hyman. I know nothing about ice hockey. I'm the rookie. So this is going to be my first season watching it. We're going to pick a match every week to focus on. My friend here, Stephen Lloyd, will be joining me. Lifelong Canucks fan, lifelong hockey fan.
That's right.
You know, he knows a thing or two, so he says. So let's get stuck in. Couple of things I wanted to start with. First one, Marshland.
Okay.
We spoke about him before, 1,000th career point.
Yeah.
I mean, not much more you could say about that, but what I wanted to focus on was the international series. So that's been that's in, I think that might even be on right now.
Yeah, it was, last time I checked, Penguins were 3-0 up.
Yeah, they have a Swedish player, don't they? It was the Predators, was it? Predators versus Penguins. Yeah, what's it? Forsberg.
Yeah,
Scored in front of his home crowd.
Right.
Such a great moment. But my beef with this is, do countries like Sweden, where the sport is already popular, need these? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's great. But
I get
if they want to grow the game,
I
think I'm just saying this from a bitter British fan point. Like, have they ever done an event here?
I'm sure they have. Nothing that springs to mind. Yeah. I'm sure they've probably done.
That's
London
what I mean.
before.
So obviously, if you can't think off the top of your head, it can't have been.
Yeah, it could have been when I was on hiatus from the sport a little bit. Yeah. But I
feel like you'd have still heard about it, or like I'd
have made sure that I'd have gone to it.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yes.
There's like all the sports are coming over at the minute, aren't they? Because college football was in like Northern Ireland.
The college
sorry, it was in Dublin. Yeah, it was in Dublin last season, which was mad.
Right.
Which is I thought it was like Dublin, Georgia. So they are making more of like an effort to come over here.
Yeah.
And,
that's what I thought. I think like the rest of because there is going to be an NBA match.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's this year.
No, it's next year.
One in Wembley and one in Manchester as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like it seems like every other organisation are kind of trying it.
Yeah.
I don't know about the MLB.
Me and James were gonna go. Yeah, they did it. Like they've done it a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's all.
NHL
all in
like,
London.
Sort yourself out. Come on.
Yeah, it's like they're doing it in countries that hockey's already like well established in.
Yeah, and I get that because they're going to draw the crowd.
Yeah.
It's not really a risk, is it, when you're having it somewhere like Sweden or Czech Republic?
The only kind of teams, like the only arenas that you're probably going to be able to do it in the UK is like Cardiff Devils, maybe the Nottingham Panthers.
They'd have to do it in a non-hockey arena.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, because if the arena has to be up to scratch to be able to be a hockey arena, because if it's just like, it might just end up being like Disney on Ice, like if you're going watching it in Manchester.
Watch it Altrincham Planet Ice with the ice melting halfway through.
What teams would fucking play in that? Like, definitely be the Sharks, and it'd probably be the Predators.
Speaking of Planet Ice, although this wasn't at Planet Ice, have you followed the Storm's results this week?
Yeah, they won yesterday, right?
They won yesterday. So they're in Belfast for 2 games.
Yeah.
On Friday, I was following it. I was only following it on Instagram. I'm not paying for like the live stream or whatever. 3-0 up after 2 periods. I thought, there we go, done and dusted. I checked back after the game, they lost 6-3. How do you concede 6 goals in 1 period?
Isn't that very reminiscent to the game that we went to go and see last season, me, you and Chris?
Was that...
It was against Fife, right, who hadn't won a game all season.
Right, yeah.
And we were winning 4-3, and then we lost. And going into the third period, we lost... we were winning 4-0. Going into the third period, by the end of the game, we'd lost 5-4. Every time, like, they crossed the blue line, you were like, they're going to get something out of this.
5-5.
It's classy Storm.
Yeah. That is classic British ice hockey, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Well, actually, maybe I'm being unfair to the other teams.
Well, we said that we were gonna. Yeah, that's a point.
I don't want to drag like
every other team
Sheffield
just because
and
Manchester is shit.
Teams who actually take it semi-seriously.
But it's like, I messaged you last week when it was the ICHF. I was like, oh, Britain.
This was the international.
I was like, Britain are playing over 3 days. And I was like, should we get it and then should we cover it on the podcast? Mate, did you see the results from that?
I saw 2 of the games were only 1-0, weren't they? I think.
Yeah, that was.
We lost. I mean, they lost every game. Let's just put that out
Yeah, there was 3 games. We were 0-3.
Yeah, this is Great Britain, by the way, we're talking
Yeah.
about. So,
and the last
from
game
what
was
I remember,
against
though,
Italy.
like the Italians, from what I could see in the comments, most of them were like Canadian and Americans who just have Italian parents, or obviously who had just grown up in that. Whereas our side, I think, because the British League is still going on, a lot of it was kind of second choice teams. So 1-0 loss. I don't really know enough about it. Just kind of
again, in order to like kind of grow the sport, surely the league maybe could have gone a week without, so like the Great Britain players could have actually gone and
like
because if you're not looking at growing it, then what's the point? There's always going to be like a cap of where you're going to get to unless you actually start pushing things like this.
Unless you take the international level seriously.
Well, all it does is...
Because that's going to attract, like, I suppose people who maybe don't have a massive interest in it might think, well, Britain are playing. I'll
Well, you said that because is it the Winter Olympics that you watch? But you'll pretty much watch anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know when you just channel surf and I was like, oh, it's the curling's on.
Yeah.
Oh, Britain are in the final. I'll so you'll keep one eye on it.
Yeah, you'll dip your toe in. Whereas if you channel surf and you see Great Britain down 7-0, against some fucking
against the Faroe Islands.
Yeah, then you're like, oh well, maybe it's not the right sport for the UK.
Should we get into the match then? What a match. What a this is a hockey game.
You knew it was going to be a great game in the first 4 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this was the Bruins at
Boston
the Canadiens.
Bruins at the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah. Bruins won 3-2.
Yes.
Yeah. This is one of the there was a few things I'd seen for the first time. A fight straight off the bat.
Yeah.
So obviously this was pre-planned, I'm guessing.
From warm-ups, probably. Yeah. Zadorov had probably said, we're going to go.
And then he's like, you can't really argue with that. Now, that was, Zadorov and Struble. Yeah. He seemed to be involved in a lot.
Yeah. Zadorov.
Both of them.
Yeah.
This was what a rivalry should be.
Yeah.
Because this is what the New York and Pennsylvania games just didn't.
They lacked.
They didn't deliver at all. And we've saying the past few weeks, it's been a while since we've seen a fight, just one. And this really had it all as well. Boston, I'd say they probably deserved to win.
Definitely.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Their power play, penalty kill even.
Yeah.
That's what won them the game.
Yeah.
Would you say? Because I just think Montreal just seemed to have no problem getting the puck up the ice, and then just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah. At a certain point, the statistic of
I think I know what
their penalty kill looks great. You also have to wonder, was their power play worth a shit? 7 power plays and
nothing,
very little shots.
2 of which were 5-on-3s.
Yeah.
If it had been a couple of kills, 1 man up, you could say sometimes it just works out like that. 2 5-on-3s.
Yeah.
And they weren't short time either. No. I think one was a minute and a half, one was a minute 50.
They racked up a total of, I think it was about 3 minutes and 30 seconds on a 2-man advantage.
Yeah.
To sum this up, both of their 2-man advantages, they combined for 6 shots.
Mm.
Boston had 1 power play and they got 5 shots on a 5-on-4.
Yeah, they just weren't getting the shots away. It's
there was too much passing, but then they were trying to be. You see football teams of this when they try and be too pretty in the final third.
This is what kind of City were like, and Arsene Wenger's Arsenal a lot of the time.
Right.
If you remember that far back, they were. Is that phrase in it? They're always trying to walk it in.
Yeah.
Is that what they're like then? Is that their style? It is very pretty hockey.
I couldn't answer that.
Quite...
But they've got a lot of great puck handlers.
Yeah.
So I think that this was their 3rd consecutive loss.
Yeah.
So going into this game, I think there's always that anxiety of I don't want to be the one to take the shot, so let's just try and pass it off to someone else. But then the passes just weren't even connecting.
I swear it's one of them where when you're on a good roll, your momentum takes you forward, and it also works the opposite way. If this is the 3rd straight loss, it just seems to snowball and snowball. You just get we said last week. I thought Montreal were doing fairly well. Because they were always, when I'm checking the standings, we're always up there.
Yeah, we both.
And I thought the Bruins weren't doing too well, but apparently the Bruins are on a pretty.
Well, it was Sean who corrected me on that. He left a comment on one of our videos saying.
Sean is from the Senators.
Yeah, shout out Sean.
Yeah, we'll have him on soon.
Yeah, there's more news for that. Yeah. Yeah, he was the one. I think he said Bruins are actually doing okay. I think were they on like a 7-game win streak?
They're on. Yeah. They're on a 7. I have got it here.
What, the last 10 games?
It just says. I mean, I don't say exactly, but I think it was something like that. It just says they've obviously continuing this strong run of form. Montreal slumps just worsened. Penalty, power play issues even.
I mean,
it was so glaring obvious. Like
something really interesting is let me see this in my notes. So the Montreal's first line, Slafkovsky, Suzuki, and Caulfield, they are statistically the most efficient line in the whole of the NHL right now.
Right. And is that goals per minute?
Yeah, right, it's 64.4 on average for goals.
Okay.
But they're just not making it work.
Yeah. So that's obviously in recent weeks since
that's for this season. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. So, but they still hold that even though they've lost the last 3. Yeah. So they were doing something right, but something's happened.
Something's just not clicking. But I mean, I don't want to take credit away from Boston's penalty kill.
I do.
Well, we'll go on then. Elaborate. Are you saying this was more Montreal's lack of final product?
I don't want to be a dick because I actually do know a Boston fan who's probably listening right now, so I don't want to hammer him too much. But yeah, like I said, I just think when you get to 7 power plays and you've got nothing to show for it, I think the glaringly obvious weakness is the power play.
I should have looked actually where Boston's penalty kill stands in the league. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is.
I mean, it'll be good after that.
That's what. Yeah, like, 7.
Yeah, they're going to have climbed.
Yeah, I did love that the aggression. Though, this was what was lacking from the matches we've watched recently. Yeah. I love when the first fight, the one straight away, they had the Stone Cold theme on again. It's just so good. Yes, there was another fight in the first period as well.
Yeah, so the first fight was in 4 seconds.
Shakev and
let's see, Jacques and Jeannot.
Jacques and Jeannot, yeah. So they've got a bit of history, haven't they? Anyway, I think I remember. Yeah, they were talking about in between. I think this was when. I'm not sure which one of them. One of them used to play for Tampa Bay and a different team before that. And I think they've just had this thing every time they meet each other. Let's just fucking go again. Like, there's just some animosity there.
I love that. I honestly think they're the kind of like rivalries where they'll be sharing beers together by the end.
It's just part of. Like, it's just tradition now, isn't it?
Of course. But, even when you look at, like, the Zadorov fight and Struble from the first 4 seconds, they both patted each other on the back as soon as the fight had ended. So, there's there's honour in the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, this is definitely the most enjoyable game I've watched so far. This is one where if you could pick a game out of this is our 7th now, isn't it?
Yeah.
This would be my 7th. To show a new hockey fan, this would be it. Like, in terms of quality, we've seen better quality. Like, I think with the Capitals and the Panthers, in terms of quality, and even like individual quality, like McDavid's from the other week, I won't say it showed any of that. There's no kind of standout star.
Yeah, there's no flair.
Pasternak had a few good moments, but like he's their main guy.
Yeah, and he's been with them like a long time. I mean, I found that interesting because Boston don't have a captain, do they? Did you hear that on?
No.
Yeah, for this season, they decided not to go with a captain.
So what?
But it's like, why would you not put the C on Pasta? Because he's like, I think him and McAvoy, I think they're like the longest standing Bruins.
Yeah.
Going. So I don't understand.
But did he have
Arvidsson as well? Arvidsson. Yeah, they got 2 A's.
Yeah,
they got 2 A's.
The guy with the A on it.
Yeah, what? 2 assistant captains.
It's
I don't
strange.
Really see I don't know. Advantage. I think that by the end of this season, if Zadorov keeps playing the way that he is, I think they're going to give the captaincy to him because he was very reminiscent of Zdeno Chara. I talked about him like a while ago.
Chara, I did. Obviously, I watched the Rivals documentary. So this was about 2011. This
Chara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he put a hit on? He was one of the Canadiens players, and I can't remember his name. Begins with a P, kind of an Italian Posternelli, Patronelli.
Paio.
It was like an Italian. So anyway, he just left a hit on him middle of just a random game during the regular season, I think. And the Montreal fans were so fucking pissed off at it because he didn't get a penalty. It was deemed a fair hit. They called the police.
Really?
The Montreal police received loads of fucking calls after the game, trying to press assault charges and
Oh my God. I love that.
That's bitter.
I do love that.
Yeah,
it was like when you when you watched that TV show with Carla and you were really angry at the end. She went off to bed and then she could hear you downstairs writing to Ofcom, proper pissed off.
I'll tell you what that was Hunted. So you probably don't. I don't know if you get it worldwide. Consecutives, you get 10 contestants and they're on the run, and then you have a team of hunters who get to use the powers the police would use. So, but it was such a fix. It was such a fix for the hunters too. And I don't want to go off on it, but
have you still got the email? Maybe you could read that on there.
It wasn't an email. It was on. It was just on their contact
submit
form.
A complaint.
Yeah. They never got back to me.
Did they not?
But no. But I'm sure I saw an article that week or a week or so after say that it's received loads of complaints because it was just some stupid stuff. They'd get on one of the contestants would just be on. They'd get on a bus in the middle of Derbyshire in the countryside, and then the hunters would be like, "Oh, we've got CCTV of Joanne on this bus." And it's like, where the fuck have they got that alert from? This little local bus service has face recognition cameras, and it can alert
the UK isn't that fucking
bullshit.
advanced.
Exactly. Can you imagine if it was? There'd be no crime.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone gets away with everything.
Yeah, exactly.
The most obscene thing about it was I watched an advert and it was this guy hiding in the bushes whilst the people were looking for them, and it's it's the guy over there with a big camera crew fucking following him around.
Yeah. There was another one. There was another set. We could go on about this all day, but they were the hunters were, we need to pull into Sainsbury's and get some petrol. And then one of the contestants was in the fucking petrol station paying for his drink or whatever. It's him, and they just proper fixed. Bullshit.
Is that still on?
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Did you not get
I haven't watched it since. I'll never forgive them for it.
Fuck them. BBC?
What's that?
Is it BBC?
No, Channel 4.
Is it Channel 4? Okay.
Yeah. Let's get back to it anyway. So, this was the first 5-on-3. This was during the first period, I think. I think the second 5-on-3 was a bit later. Nothing came of it, as we already discussed. Boston go 1-0 up. I'm trying to pronounce his name. Kostadinov. That's the one. Yeah. And then kind of Montreal did equalise so a few minutes later, and it looked at that point maybe we might have a bit of a game here.
Yeah, I mean, they scored on shorty, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there was another, I think their second goal, they weren't short-handed, but it was kind of a bit of a counter. It seemed like when they don't have, when the Bruins don't have their defensive zone packed, Montreal just had a bit more freedom. They seem to work better like that.
Yeah.
On the power play, when obviously everyone is camped in front of the goal, they don't seem to have that ability to break it down.
So during a penalty kill or defense in general, there's different terminology for it, but basically, what Boston did, they just had their 5 players camped around the net.
Yeah.
Because the new Montreal were just going to keep passing it, but the passes weren't actually coming to anything.
They were just going around.
Whereas some other teams, they will actively pursue you to get you out of, out of the zone.
Yeah.
Whereas Boston were more happy to just
sit back because they were just. Yeah. They might as well.
They called that one right.
There's no use risking having a.
Yeah, I'm not sure they'd use that same strategy for most teams, but I mean, that must have been something that they'd actually noticed.
That's where good management comes in, good coaching, definitely. And the backroom staff who know. Obviously, they spend hours researching this and looking what their weaknesses are. So moving on from that, so who would be a team where? Why would you choose to push out from the back on if you're short-handed? Would that?
Well,
what kind of team would you use that against?
Oh, not when you're short-handed.
Yeah.
Sorry, not so much when you're short-handed. If you're 5-on-5, you would be aggressive, but short-handed, no. I mean, you're probably going to leave yourself.
I was going to say, so far, I've pretty much seen most teams when they're short-handed play like that. Maybe not as compact as Boston were. Boston did seem really compact, like short-handed or just on the defense. But yeah, they played it tactically such a better game.
Yeah, they did. You can't argue with it. No. They had everything. You know, it wasn't a blowout game, but you could just see how dialed in they were. One team was super structured, and the other was just falling apart.
Yeah, it was a team playing with confidence.
Yeah,
from on a good run versus a team who's just on the opposite.
Yeah,
perfect time for them to meet.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I was just going to say. I think that's what happens with a lot of teams. Obviously, when you go on this run, and then if you do start sliding a couple of games, it's that classic terminology of the wheels coming off.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to.
I've noticed that much more in hockey because of the amount of games you play in. Like, you don't really have time to kind of just have a breather, you know, regroup, think, right, okay, we've lost one, we've lost two, you know, we don't play again until next week. Let's get back on the training ground, ice rink, where you call it, and then we'll work out what these weaknesses. You'll be playing again in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I've seen like the Devils did it. We've mentioned this. They were on an absolute hot streak.
Yeah.
Lost a game, lost 2 games, and then he went for like 3 or 4, didn't they? Like load of shit results. So that does seem to be a common theme. But it's good. It keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
I've not even been keeping an eye on the standings. So do you know who's?
So
I think the Avalanche are still.
Yeah, Avalanche are still smashing it. I think they got 25 points. Bruins are now top of their division,
right?
With Montreal just below them.
Yeah. Because the Bruins had a slow start, didn't they?
No, they did. They were bottom at one point, but it shows it's still early on in the season. But if you can go on a run of 7 games, I mean, even if you did that in the Premier League, you're gonna move so many spaces up. The Devils, they're
have they found
top
a
of their
bit
division.
Of form again? Have they?
Yeah, I think they're 2 games ahead of Carolina, though. So in fairness, I think if Carolina start winning their games,
as in they've played 2 more.
Yeah, so I think they would go above them. But Carolina are dropping points. So have you seen Capitals are dead last in that division?
Yeah. Right, because this was they were our opening game we watched, weren't
No, that was the second game, but that was the team that really caught your eye.
That's what I said. I said they looked, I mean, at that point I'd only seen 3 other teams, but they looked like a well-drilled, organised, serious team. And I haven't really been paying much attention to him since, other than when what's his name? Old guy,
Ovechkin.
900 got Ovechkin. When he scored his 900th goal, did you see the goaltender in that match?
No. Oh,
it was against the Blues.
Binnington. Yeah.
Do you see what he did? He pulled the puck down his pants, thinking,
he tried to steal it. That was going to be on eBay by the end of the
night. You know, he's on about fucking 10 to 15 million a year, but he needs that bit extra for
it was shit out
the 900.
That's Binnington.
Was that like do you think he was seriously trying to steal that, or was there a bit of a?
I don't know, because I expected him to crack a smile or something like by the end, but he was just like just handed it back. But then
here you go. He's got my scrot rot on it. There you go.
Yeah,
whiff of that, boy. Think of me.
The smelling salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, but then he reached like a milestone like last week. I think it was
Who's
like
this?
Binnington, like a career shutout or something.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, someone should have stole his fucking.
I don't know, what do you take from that? Do you get a puck? So
fuck knows.
Take his glove.
Yeah, I don't know.
His stick. Shove your stick up his ass. Shove his stick up your ass even. Anyway, this game. Second period. Lowry 2-1. Arvidsson. That was a power play. No, the first Boston power play goal, wasn't it? That was career goal number 200.
Yeah.
Arvidsson. And Montreal grabbed another one back. This was a 4-on-4, wasn't it? So it wasn't they didn't have the man advantage, but they had the space.
Maybe that was the sweet spot.
Just seemed to be a theme throughout the whole thing. Like when they've got a bit of space to work with.
Yeah.
I think this is similar to, like we were saying before, Premier League teams, who are passers. If people just sit back, completely park the bus, to use the cliche, they struggle against it. And I didn't think that would translate to hockey because of the speed, but I thought it really did in this match.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, if they're statistically the most efficient line in the whole of the NHL, then passing-wise, like...
they're doing something, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think as soon as like one team figures them, or one team beats them, the second team figures them out, and then the third, the third team, it's exactly what we just watched with Boston.
Snowballing. Third period, Montreal put a bit of pressure on, pulled the goalie. There was a few times Boston nearly scored again, didn't they, from on the empty net. Whiskers just past the... I think they hit the post as well about 4 or 5 times.
There were so many post and crossbar shots.
I think Boston did it about 3 times. Montreal did it about twice or 3 times. Just a proper entertaining game.
Yeah. No, it was really good. I mean, last week you said that was your favourite. I think we both said... No, sorry. It was it was Blues and
the
Oilers
Blues and
last
the Oilers.
week.
No, it was the New York teams last week. Blues and Oilers the week before.
No, because you just posted the McDavid.
Yeah,
you're right.
But we weren't talking about McDavid on last week's show, just to confuse you all. But
so this is your best game that you've watched?
Yeah, 100%, 100 by far.
Well,
definitely.
I did see that the Bruins had posted rivalry renewed.
On
the like a lot of the games over the past couple of years between them hadn't had all of the entertainment moments that this one had. So hopefully this is a sign of...
We've not even mentioned the Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah.
Is it Charlie, isn't it? Charlie that looked fucking horrible. The speed, and you just see his face just whoa.
Yeah.
And as soon as, because obviously you can't see it in full speed, he just fucking bends him down and you just see that blood come out. It's proper brutal. But so we wish him well.
He'll be back at it tonight or tomorrow. Mate, I completely forgot.
What's he got? Oh, hang on, what's this?
Well, I figured if we both start actually drinking the same thing, we'll look a little bit more professional, and then...
Brothers. Premium cider.
Do you like cider?
Yeah. Mind it.
Have you tried Dickens?
No.
Fair enough.
This is Brothers, though, isn't it? Taster.
Try Dickens next time.
Yeah, don't mind it. Don't mind it. No, I'm not a big cider drinker, usually. I just got PTSD from fucking Strongbow, and when I was in uni, I used to get these like the 3-litre bottles.
The White Lightning.
Not even White Lightning. It was Morrison's own White Lightning. It was like £1.50 for a fucking 3-litre bottle, and it was like the size of a rocket. It's just the filth, absolute filth. But I don't know. There's not a lot of other that we haven't covered yet. Arvidsson got injured as well, I think, sort of late in the game. The theme really is the penalty kill, or the lack of quality on the power play from Montreal. That was the decider, because like a 3-2 scoreline, it probably don't tell the whole story.
I think if there was if you could only take one take away from the game, I think it would be that Montreal really suffered on the power play.
They are struggling to score.
Yeah,
like this was another stat that came up. Don't know if you saw this. They conceded 13 goals on the bounce without reply. This was over the last few games, up until their first one last night.
Right.
That was the joint record since 1940.
Yeah, I did see that.
So, that's what, 80 years?
Yeah.
They were 1 goal away from breaking that record. I know it's stupid to have a bit of relief or a bit of positivity out of after a game like that, but you take that.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that team that breaks an 8-year record. Yeah. When the players were probably part-time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I went straight over to the Montreal's Instagram and started looking through Reddit just to see if there was any fans fully crashing out over it.
Yeah.
It wasn't so bad. There was this one guy on Reddit, and he was like, Habs need Viagra, need to stop pushing rope. Some guy replies there, and he's like, watching the power play was the equivalent to cheese grating my face.
Oh, okay.
But there was no like full crash outs.
No.
A lot of people were using the GIF as so you know that meme of Ben Affleck where he just looks fed up and he's like outside, he's got the cig in his hand. They put Martin San Luis' face on him, who's the coach of Montreal. Like that was just all like the GIFs all the way down.
That fan base, though, obviously, basing this purely on the documentary I watched, which kind of ties into why the rivalry became a thing with Boston. Apparently, Montreal is seen as a kind of quite middle class, very cultured kind of place, whereas Boston is this blue collar, like working class, and which obviously just adds to that clash. I'd sort of liken Boston. I mean, I shouldn't say this as a Mancunian, but to like Liverpool. But I really like that kind of city. He's like got a proper identity, hasn't it?
Okay.
Like that, I feel like Manchester has lost that a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like Scousers are Scouse. They've got a really strong. And I feel like Boston is very similar. Montreal is very different because it's Canadian anyway. It's a different country, but it's French Canadian. It's very nice. It's more like a European city, apparently.
Yeah, well, you can imagine like the architecture there and all the buildings.
It's really,
you have an idea of what it is.
Just from the pictures I've seen, it does look like a really nice place. But I think maybe that's where their fan base is a bit more, we don't take it too seriously. No, like just a bit of a laugh.
No, I do think you're right with like likening Boston to
Boston to Liverpool. Nothing against. I love Liverpool. I really like Liverpool. Not the football team. I fucking hate the football team, but I love Liverpool as a city. I feel like that it was very similar to Manchester, and Manchester's just been so gentrified. It's like Manchester's basically like a little London now, isn't it?
I've been to Liverpool once, and
only once.
I felt like everyone wanted to fight me. Not even from the accent or anything like that. I don't know. The vibes there were just like,
When was that?
Oh man, that was like 2015, 2014, something like that.
We used to go all the time. Like we used to just get the train.
What was that club there that was like the alt night?
It was right near the station, wasn't it?
Like fucking.
I can't remember. Not crazy. It's not Crazy House.
Leeds was Cockpit.
Yeah, it's not Crazy House. It was the. I don't know. I can't. I know what you mean though, because that's where we used to go.
Yeah, I thought that's where you would have gone.
Shout out Scousers. They need a hockey team. Do
you know what?
They've got Widnes.
They've got Widnes Wild, but
they're Wolves though.
Yeah, well, that's the other side of it, isn't it? So like, Scousers won't adopt Widnes as true Scousers, so you're not allowed their hockey team either.
They're Wolves. They wear white socks. All right. So, well, we've just lost all our Scouse listeners, if there was any.
Oh well.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add about this match? There's so much going on, Ed, but I think we've covered pretty much everything. I don't know. Where do these two teams go going forward, especially Montreal? What do you do to address this?
That is
power play is the issue.
Yeah.
Is that someone who
I couldn't really answer that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've still got. If you had to put money on it, they're making the playoffs. They're 100% getting in the playoffs. A couple of tweaks, because I mean, they're always a trade away from actually being where they want to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a case of sacking Martin St. Louis. Like, he's a legend.
Well,
he brings
and
a lot
also,
to it.
I'm guessing he's a Montreal native or a Quebec native from that name anyway.
Yeah, he won the Stanley Cup with
like...
Tampa Bay, like back in I mentioned it, Tampa Bay, Calgary, back in like 2002 or 2003, something like that. Yeah, he was like one of the key components to actually winning the Stanley Cup. Like the wealth of knowledge, and the great thing about him is he was always an undersized player. Okay. He was like the smallest in the NHL, but he also had the highest goal tally.
Is he an outfield?
Yeah. He was. I think he was a centre. I'm pretty sure he was a centre. So, yeah, like he'll bring more to a team.
It'd be too early to pull the trigger on that anyway.
Yeah,
just from a bad.
We're not even 20 games. We're not even 20 games
start,
in. Yeah. Both teams will be. Like,
no coaches have been sacked yet, have they? Is she? Not that I'm aware
Buffalo.
of.
I think Buffalo's.
Oh, Buffalo.
Buffalo's got sacked. I'm pretty sure, but I mean they're burning through them.
Right.
Yeah, we've not covered Buffalo yet.
No.
There's a couple of like we're gonna start getting to the teams where like we're just not up for watching it. We're gonna have to create excitement somehow because you're gonna think it's gonna be tedious.
Yeah.
But like
sometimes those games just will have just little moments where the quality's not there, but sometimes that allows a bit of shithousery, a bit of luck to happen. But
I do have a question for you though, and this is a really serious question. I really thought about this today. So, in your opinion, who is the most dangerous Russian ice hockey player between Nikita Zadorov?
Oh, I know where you're going.
Or Vladimir
Putin. Just for context, you sent me this video today. Now, this is about 6 years old, but I'd never seen this.
It's my favourite video.
What was the context of that? So Putin's playing ice hockey on this fucking team full of... Is this a real team? Or was this some friendly exhibition match?
It was definitely an exhibition, but they were real hockey players.
Yeah.
It wasn't just his cabinet that he was playing against.
But like the speed, like he was skating and the way they just let him score. It was like, have you seen those videos? Like, do you know where you'll get like a high school team in America and then like they'll let the boy with Down syndrome score a basket? It really had that vibe about it. And they were like, and then when he's skating off at the end and he hits the part, they've got someone to put a fucking carpet out. He hits the carpet, falls flat on his fucking face.
Yeah.
And then his face when he gets so you'd be like, oh fuck, I'm off to the gulag.
Straight to the gulag. I feel like when you say about like a kid like making the basket, I feel like the jeopardy and the threat is more prominent.
Not quite the same.
with Putin. Yeah. But what was it? It was like
what's a better example then? I can't remember if it was what sport it was, but I'm sure there's a bit in The Simpsons where Mr. Burns is he throws like the first pitch at the softball and it just kind of like piss rolls along the floor and he was like Smithers like, oh whoa, look at that, Mr.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I think have you seen the film Foxcatcher as well? The wrestling one. Yeah, there was that Steve Carell played
I know
Dupont,
what you mean.
Francis Dupont or something, like some
that rings a bell.
Billionaire. And he had his own training facility called Foxcatcher because he just loved wrestling, but he was
This is amateur wrestling.
Yeah, not like WWE.
Yeah.
Actually,
not interested.
I got something to show you in a minute. Actually,
go on.
But yeah, and it was recreated and stuff, and like he would dominate like the wrestlers, but they let him just because he was paying them like all this money.
Okay,
it's crazy, like what having money does to your ego. Where if I gave you enough money, you would make me think that I was like, shit.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's crazy. It's like a childlike mind. Like it was like Putin scores 8 goals in Thriller.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of personality that gets you into them positions. So if you've got that kind of mindset where you just will not give up, will not take no for an answer. You've got rich in business or you've got powerful in politics and you get to the top and you're like, what the fuck do I do now? I don't know anything other than this. So you start looking at stupid little side projects like that where it's just to get your kicks from something because you've already achieved everything.
I suppose it's like how the rich and wealthy, they'll have like a trophy wife but they never look at the actual fact of why they're with them. So
and when the trophy wife gets too old, they'll have an affair with the 22 because they can't not do it. It's not even a case of I just really fell in love with this younger woman. No, I have to have this next thing. It's. I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for it, but you know what I mean. But I just couldn't imagine having that mindset. It is good. It's a good mindset to have to achieve. Your goals or whatever.
Putin, the fucking warmonger.
Yeah.
Goalmonger as well.
Goalmonger.
But did you see the goal? He didn't even fucking go for the You see the goal? He didn't even go for it though.
When he was just like,
He was praying that puck didn't hit his pads.
I'll put a link to the video in the description.
Yeah, do that.
See, I'm sure anyone who's a hockey fan.
Yeah, it's from the Guardian. It's from the Guardian, but it is online. And going back to wrestling, tell me what you make of that.
Oh man, I've seen these.
It's in your local corner shop.
Bury live in your town. The big hitters here. We've got Bury, Haslingden, and Macclesfield.
I've seen. So there's a guy who's got the Ultimate Warrior's face paint.
Yeah.
There's a guy wearing Scorpion's suit from Mortal Kombat.
I'll just let him see that.
But if you're local, get down.
Yeah, get down to Macclesfield Leisure Centre.
There you go. We're actually promoting them, to be
fair.
Yeah,
like, where's this come from? Are you just picking up random
artifacts? Yeah, no, I was buying these ciders and then I saw this.
I'd like to remind everyone again, this is a hockey podcast.
Yeah. But literally, it's like live American wrestling. So they've named it the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And the Royal...
Why are we dissecting this?
And the Royal Rumble is actually called the King of the Ring Elimination.
Oh, okay.
So...
Yeah. Someone who doesn't watch wrestling's made this and just Googled a load of keywords to throw on it.
But I'm calling you out, you fuckers.
Yeah. The fucking tiny iron. Anyway,
so
next week, yeah. We have picked a game, haven't we?
We have.
The San Jose Sharks.
Yes,
I've had a bit of a liking for recently, just because of
they've gone back to form though.
Have they gone back to form? I haven't seen this week's results, so yeah,
they have gone back to form, but they're still above Vancouver, which is pretty good.
That's bad.
Pretty fucking good going.
So it's San Jose Sharks against the Ottawa Senators,
yeah,
and hopefully we'll have Sean from the Senators channel on. Yeah, that will be good. Looking forward to it because he's going to put us to shame.
He's super. He's going to put me to shame.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I've got an excuse. This is my first season. But yeah,
I've got no excuse. So I'm going to message him prior and just say just go eat. Don't make me look like a dickhead. This is a new venture for me. I need this. But no, he's super knowledgeable. Not only about the Ottawa Senators, and he's got a great European Ottawa fan page on Instagram.
Yeah. We'll give you all that details when he's on next week, I'm sure. So these teams. Well, we'll start with the Sharks then. They've been the whipping boys, obviously, the past few seasons. Started, as usual, as you'd expect. Had a bit of a good run of form. And like you said, apparently they've just gone straight back
They've not fell off the face of the earth yet.
Yeah.
But
they're not bottom anyway, are they? So who are bottom? Is Calgary.
Calgary is still
so there's a
bottom.
There's a bit of...
Well, they've still got a buffer. Like, it's Calgary and Vancouver who are dead last. The fucking Ducks are top.
They're top in the West?
Yeah, they're top.
Right.
And I think I said to finish last in the West. I'm pretty sure I was going Ducks and San Jose.
We did do on your actual... Did we do a prediction
So I didn't do a prediction, but I'm sure I had it wrote down.
If you had, I'd have put the clip. I'll put the clip in right now. You see, the Ducks are fucking finished. Right? It's hunting season.
You see that thing where it is like scientists prove that watching the Canucks this season has the same effects on the brain as being lobotomized. So true.
I haven't seen the Canucks this season.
So fucking true.
I'll look forward to that.
It's disastrous. I'm putting it off so much. Maybe if they
play... You did tell me the other day, just this season, because we've got so much hockey to watch anyway, I can't put myself watching every Canucks game.
I've actually been enjoying cruising and watching more games than...
This is what I was thinking as well. Like, obviously, eventually I'm going to gravitate towards a team, pick a team. I don't know if I'll miss having this neutrality where I can just enjoy the game for what it is.
But there will, because we'll still be discussing news around the league. You'll enjoy it in different
in ways.
Inevitably, next season it is going to have to change the format because it's no longer your rookie season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not changing the name. We've established now.
Maybe we'll just get rookies on. As like,
we'll get a new rookie. We'll get a third person. Get our wives on. Right, then this is Connor McDavid, right? I'm just picturing that meme fucking... Is it Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Do you know, he's in front of the whiteboard and he's like explaining...
Yeah, with the crazy eyes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
San Jose, pretty much not dead bottom, but not pulling up trees, as you'd expect. Ottawa doing fairly well, I think. I'm pretty sure. They when I checked the standings, they were up there or thereabouts, about third or fourth.
Yeah, I think they're... So I'm pretty sure it's Boston, Montreal, and then the Senators. But they're in a good spot. definitely.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Canadian teams up there. Now, obviously, this is I'm not even mentioning that. This was only the second Canadian team we covered in Montreal.
Edmonton and Montreal, yeah.
The Canadiens are they the most successful NHL team in terms of Stanley Cups?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if you're saying Canadians, like the Montreal Canadiens, I would say they're the most successful team. Yeah.
Oh, so not just Canadians,
for our
just
history.
In yeah.
Opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, surely this like who has the most?
I feel like the stats would back that up as well. Yeah.
No, it's nice to see the Canadian teams doing well, but I
think American teams get too much hate because it's
I've got nothing against that. It's just obviously because it's such a quote unquote Canadian sport.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's played in America. It's played all over Europe, but that is their
and the majority
of
the teams are actually.
I do feel like I know what you mean. Like American in any kind of sport, they do get this hate. American soccer fans, they get the piss taken out of them so much.
Have you seen?
Like there'll be clips, obviously, and because they're at a match and their chants a bit family friendly.
Yeah,
and you think like they have to start there.
Yeah,
they're not going to get this. Like they're not going to grow the sport to the point where they've got this fucking cynical fan base, and maybe they don't want that.
There might, mate. There's like soccer hooligans now. It's fucking
American soccer.
Yeah,
is it that short guy who lives in Florida?
Maybe. I watched this clip and they were all wearing like United shirts and they were all just like shouting shit at the camera. They're like, "Go, Man United!"
Right.
And then literally, you expect them to then go into the game and they just went into some shitty little fucking bar to go watch the game.
No, that isn't this video of a guy I've seen. I'll try and find it. It's this one-man fucking firm. He's Florida man.
Oh, dude, yeah.
But he trains.
He doesn't support anyone though. He just wears different jerseys.
Right? He says he supports Man United, but he'll just kind of he's local. He lives in Orlando or somewhere like that. But he just keeps like. He's obviously got some kind of fucking ADHD because he's just hyper all the time. And he was like, he just keeps putting on he's obviously watched Green Street or the Football Factory a few times.
Okay.
And he's just taken that. He's showing everyone his Sergio Tacchini track. So he changed outfits about 3 times over this 10-minute video. And he's like, all right, governor, you know, like, and it's just
see you can. I'll cut you first.
And then he goes to the Orlando game. Or whatever their team is, and he's trying to I think he's looking for trouble, and obviously no one's fucking interested, and he's just like...
No one wants it, not because they're scared of him, but they just don't get it.
No, I don't get it, what is Yeah, he's fucking mental, but yeah, very entertaining.
Speaking of, you know, so Rick's brother, Nick, so he's lived in Toronto.
Rick is our friend who supports the Devils.
Yeah, sorry, I keep mentioning
you gotta
names
remember,
and
there is an audience.
Yeah, my bad. Rick's a lifelong New Jersey Devils fan.
Yeah.
So his brother, he's lived in Toronto for must be about 10 years now. And oh man, he's a huge City fan as well.
Yeah.
And he wore a City shirt to go. I'm not even sure if he was going to watch the game, like a City were playing. But then he went in for a drink and some food, and the guy who worked there came over to him and he went, "We're gonna have to ask you to leave." And he was like, "Why?" He was like, "This is a United supporters pub," and then literally on all the wall it was United memorabilia, and it's like, mate, I'm from Manchester. You fucking telling me to leave?
Yeah,
it's shit like that. It's
I'm surprised it gets like that because bringing it back to hockey, the fans seem to all sit together. They don't seem to be that. Hatred between you see little incidents. I've seen clips of scraps in the crowd.
But then if you mixed all football fans, the away end and the home, there'd be fucking loads of skirmishes.
Exactly. So why does that translate even over in Canada and America? But do you know what I'm trying to say? Because they support football, I feel like they have to emulate the British and the European fans. Oh, we have to act like that. You know, this animosity towards each other. Whereas every other sport in the same country, they seem to not really have that intensity.
As well, though,
unless it's provoked.
But we adopt. So with hockey, if you go to a Storm game, they'll do the national anthem. They won't do the national anthem at football.
No,
right?
Of course not. No.
Yeah, you're supposed to stand up while it's going on. So I think the sport dictates what you adopt, what comes with the package.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame that obviously, the football toxic culture if they're adopting that in soccer.
He's part of the reason I kind of fell out of love with it. It's funny, and a bit of fucking back and forth and a bit of rivalry, but when it's lit, it's people's entire life, innit? It just consumes their life, this fucking hatred with it's just a fucking game, mate. It's just a game.
Well, you got booted down 4 rows of seats, didn't you?
Not by a fan, by a police officer. Yeah. They're like, is this guy next to us? So this was just before Christmas. So obviously football stadiums are all seated, but everyone in the section I used to sit, I was stood up the entire game. And there was this little 14-year-old kid next. I used to sit right next to the away fans, and this was a Manchester derby, so it's Man United fans on the other side. And everyone's skinning each other pelters. Row of policemen between them. And he's just, this little 15-year-old, he's because he knows that he's behind a police barrier, he's proper mouthing off. He must have known about 6 stone wet through, so he's just proper mouthing off, knowing he's safe. Anyway, I think he stood on the barrier, put 1 foot on the barrier. Wasn't going to fucking do anything. He was nowhere near the opposing fan, but this police officer just grabbed him, shoved him into the back of me. I'm not even watching what's going on. I'm trying to watch the game. And I just kind of blinked and I woke up and I was 4 rows behind, looking up at my own seat. What the fuck happened there? It was so bad, because I fell on this guy.
Did it knock you out?
No.
Oh, right. Sorry.
No.
I thought you said you blinked.
No, but it was so quick. Obviously, you just don't know what's happening. But I fell on a guy in front of me. And luckily, he was quite a big guy anyway. But if I'd fell on a child or a pregnant woman or something
you'd have fucked him up.
Yeah.
But you'd think that pregnant women, you wouldn't have been in the away end.
No, but I wasn't in the away end.
Oh, sorry, next to the away end.
But you shouldn't.
Because they're the party seats where you and Ollie used to sit in.
They were lively. But if I ever got a season ticket, I'd go back to the family stand, I think. But maybe one day we'll see. When City is shit again, it's not cool to support. Them. Yeah, it's not cool to spot now, I suppose. But anyway, do you want to call it a day?
Yeah,
We've
let's
gone on
wrap
for
it up,
too
man.
long about God knows what.
We'll talk about hockey next week.
Yes, because we'll have Sean on, hopefully, and he'll...
How's that for a wild concept?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again next week.
Cheers.
A good one.